What's up, everyone? We are back today. Another little special video just featuring me, because today we are back with more of the Arrowverse. The second show, as you may have guessed from the thumbnail or the title of the video or whatnot, is Black Lightning. Black Lightning is back. Second Arrowverse show to come back after Batwoman. It's like it's close to a year now since the show's third season has ended. We're going on season number 4 and also the final season. So um, yeah, I'm intrigued to see. Most of this first episode was just sort of a reflection on like and sort of just like the table setting, like here are where the characters are, here's where the mindsets are. Not too much on like the direction or like if anything, but for I'm intrigued. I use that word a lot in a lot of our videos. I'm realizing looking back on some of them, but like it's I don't know, it's just the best way to describe that feeling of like I want to see where this goes. I don't know how it'll go, but consider me hooked. And fourth season, final season, it's so weird. I remember watching the show's very first episode all the way back in 2018, which seems like forever ago, and to see how where the show has gone since it's been very unexpected, very unexpected. Part of me doesn't want this to be the last season, especially since they Black Lightning joined with the rest of the Arrowverse at the end of Crisis of Infinite Earths, and I really do wish the show just got more time into like I would have loved to see a Black Lightning Flash crossover. I would love to see like um, Thunder meet uh, like Alex Danvers or whatever, or like I don't know why, like hell, like Ray Palmer is still around, and like I would love to see if he just pops into Freeland or something, like just like forming those bonds. I would have loved to see, especially now that's they're all on the same Earth. But alas, we are here, fourth season, and it appears that as of right now, if anything, the show is kind of going back to not necessarily basics, but it's going back to the basic cast, which is the Pierce family, Peter Gamby, and then Tobias Whale. And you know what? That's it might be the best. That might be the best way to go. I mean, the first two, 3 episodes of Black Lightning, I hold as some of the best written superhero content like in ever, like honestly ever released, like in television, movie. Like the show made such a strong first impression on me. Has gone through a lot of changes. Not some I really love. Some of course I didn't. Just the nature of a show, but talking actually about the final fourth episode, what I do enjoy is that they place the focus on Black Lightning, which is something I felt the show kind of wavered in like season 2 and season 3. Like there were times where Black Lightning, Jefferson Pierce felt like a secondary character, which is weird because he's the title character. And also I think Cress Williams is I think it's safe to say Cress Williams is the strongest performer on the show. Not to say that's a not to say anything of everyone else. Like this cast is really strong and really great together, but I think particularly Chris Williams, a lot of this reason why the show made such a great first impression on me all the way back when was because of his performance. Excuse me. So I really do enjoy that the show is, at least this first episode, brought the focus back to him. And so far, they bumped up Jordan Calloway's Painkiller, Chantel Thoy as Grace Choi up to series regular stats, but they didn't show them as all Pierce family and Tobias Whale. And it's an interesting setup. Interesting setup. Any let's see, any negatives per se? I guess we'll start there. Like there are a few jumps I feel like they could do to explain. I don't know if they will, but probably because they're just gonna expect us to roll with it. But a few gaps, particularly like Tobias Whale all of a sudden becoming like a philanthropist. That's a whole level of stuff they need to like explain, because to my knowledge, he was like, it was publicly acknowledged he was a criminal, which hasn't stopped criminals from being philanthropists before. Like the Penguin and Kingpin have done it. Like they reinvented themselves as like good people like 10 million times now. So I guess it's not too much of a stretch of Tobias Whale, but it's like we saw Oswald Cobblepot and Wilson Fisk kind of like go through their gangster to like new public image, while here they're kind of just like in the year in between season 3 and season 4, Tobias Whale is just now accepted by the town, which I thought was a huge it was a bit of a huge gap, just like just to be reintroduced. I would expect him to be like in the shadows, like on his own, but he's out in the open, which I don't mind. I think it's a great setup for the for the season. I'm intrigued to see now, like Tobias Whale is a public figure, so he's bringing in some of that, like Kingpin in Daredevil season 3 energy, for instance. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Just like getting used to that major shift really caught me off guard. The Pierce family was obviously caught off guard, but on a writing level, I wish they had like eased into it. Like it would have been a great like final thing for that like newscast of Tobias Whale to be like this, the I guess the stinger of the episode, to be like, oh shoot, like that's where he's been, that's what he's been doing. So that's one. um I would have liked just a little more on like Jeff's like, it's hard to say because like most of I'm going over it now, like most of the what the family where the family's at right now makes sense going from season 3. I just wish also that like in particular like Jeff's like or not adherence, like resistance to putting on this suit was just explored just a little bit more, because I think it would have just maybe it's just I haven't seen the season 3 finale in a long time, but I feel like the season 3 finale, if anything, made us stand for like why Black Lightning is important, because he was out there, he was, he was in front of the government, he like talked them down, he was the face of victory. But then like I guess what they're trying to portray, and what I've always enjoyed about Black Lightning is that like there really is just a human person behind the mask, and like even though he did succeed as Black Lightning, he has Jefferson Pierce lost, which I suppose the point they're trying to make. And I suppose for that extent, I guess it kind of balances out. I just kind of wish they like charted that like mindset more per se. However, what helped definitely smooth it all out was again Chris Williams. I think his performance was excellent. I love him, seeing him as this like, I don't. He does such a great job being like this fatherly mentor figure, but he does such a great job at, and like what I love about like the state of Black Lightning in comparison to other superhero shows, that like this is still like a burnt out like broken up guy, even though he's like older than Oliver Queen, Barry Allen, Kara Zor-El. He's older than most of the like I don't know the Doom Patrol for example. He's still like as like it doesn't mean he's any wiser or anything. Sometimes I feel like with like mentor older characters like Mr. Miyagi, you kind of like you forget that they have like their own human like breakups and flaws, and so like it's nice to see like him so rattled in the season premiere, and to see him so like disconnect, like for the guy who was always at the forefront of like connecting his family, connecting his school, for him to be like so disconnected and so like haunted and like shaken up. I think that was just really really cool. I mean, I want to see how long they take this whole resistance to wearing this suit, because like what was it? It was Arrow season 6 tried to do something similar, but they like put the suit on like they put the suit on Diggle, and like that continued for like I don't know 3 episodes. So I'm interested to see how long they can put that up. I will say, however, that final like scene where he just attacks the guy was really great. I think that was like a great way to like cap off like just the episode. Like there was a few scenes after, but like to cap off like this is where Jefferson's at. Like that was a great way. You see him so like just seems so like emotionally like operating in extremes. I think Chris Williams performed that so well, and yeah, I just love that. I love the line Gambi says to him. He goes like, they never lost. No one's ever lost your respect for you, but it's like it's a matter of you like making sure to own up to that, making sure to like like keep earning that, to make sure like to stand up and like pull yourself back up, which for final season isn't actually that bad of a. Overall, this isn't a bad place to start. Like your final season, like we're at the low point. We're at your heroes are broken up, and to see them kind of like reinvent and like bring back like find their old groove again. I think I'm excited to see how it goes. Gosh, anything else? The CGI, the CGI in that first scene where he's like facing off against the cops, I was like, the lighting looks really good, and I don't know if it's because they've had extended time to like work on the episode, or if it's just generally like um I don't know, just like like they've had time to perfect it over seasons, but the lightning looks really good. And the CGI's been improved a lot. The action is ever reliable. I feel like the action is an underrated part of Black Lightning. I think very entertaining. As always, they not a lot of it. It was more dialogue driven, but this time I really did not like mind it. It was just a really great um, place for Chris Williams to do his thing. As for the rest of the family, I know this is China Anne McClain's, like she's not sticking around the whole season, so I'm interested to see what they do since it appears her powers are on the fritz or something. Hopefully I guess they write her out, or like they have like something planned that's better than like they wrote out like Wally West in Flash. I think she did. I think she deserves. China Ann's, if anything, is like my second favorite performer in the show. She's really kills it. She's so awesome just in general. And then the Lynn Stewart storyline is going to be something to watch unfold. I read that Gravedigger is not coming back this season, or at least he's not coming back yet. They've had to like I guess reorganize, reprioritize in the midst of it being announced this was the final season. So to see her how we're like still using his serum, still like kind of like afraid of him, still like trying to anticipate something that like I guess now as we as viewers know is not going to be coming for like for the most part as for right now like not coming at all. It'll be interesting to see how that paranoia is like drives her because this family's all over. This is the most all over we've ever seen the family, which again like I kind of want to rewatch like the last few episodes of season 3 now just to see like the family's like torn up like masks wise they're fine but like masks off they're like really oral and see if that carries over. They kind of like have to like finagle that like in setting up the season, but I think everyone's in a really interesting spot. Everyone seems to be primed for that like final spotlight right now. Like Thunder and like Grace seem to be like a true end game. Like I mean they technically got married, right? Or was the ceremony interrupted? I can't remember, but like she's waiting for her. Painkiller, he didn't appear, which is a bit unfortunate because I do enjoy Jordan Calloway. I love his character, but we know he's getting his spinoff. Lightning, excuse me, is leaving at some point, and then it's that matter of kind of oh Gambi got like a job offer or something. So I wouldn't be surprised if he either one died or if he two like left at the end of like he found his own like retirement plans or whatnot. And then of course it comes back to just Jefferson Lynn repairing that original gap in their relationship that lasted all the way even before the show started in that like air that prime Black Lightning years. So I think it's gonna be really interesting. I just want to shout out the therapy scene again. I thought that was really well written. I thought that was a very like just frank scene. Like I don't know, like for Jeff to like for them to be like open about like their sex life or like what, but the fact like they're on different worlds at this point. I think it's just a great thing. I do enjoy the like I reflect on like a lot of DC shows. They seem to be using like the therapy setting a lot, which is good because it's an honestly a great it's a place that's meant to be open and encourage discussion. It's what it's built to be. So I don't know. I just for me personally, it's just like okay, we're making use of our real life. What could be, is a real life solution. I'm glad to see they're like I don't know just promoting that because that could encourage like just better like I better like I guess destigmatize like mental health or whatnot. It's not really on the Black Lightning like what about the characters in the show himself. I feel like it's nice to see like it's the therapy like setting like utilized so normally. They did it in Flash, they did it in Doom Patrol, and to see that and they did it actually in Black Lightning season 2 with Lightning. So glad to just see them like it's just an open communication thing. And so just to see like Jeff and Lynn be so frank and open with each other, they are definitely I feel like this season by them every member of the Pierce family finally ending up back on the same page after being like dragged left, right, up, down for so long. So I think it'd be really satisfying to see that like them find their way back to each other because that's what the show's always been about. So overall, I'm excited to see this where the characters go. For the most, a lot of them kind of took second priority to Jeff, which of course I don't mind because again, Chris Williams is awesome. I really wish like he got so much more attention for his portrayal of Black Lightning because it's pitch perfect. Um, really intrigued to see how the bias whale factors in. If he is meant to be the big bad, I don't think there's a better way to go out, kind of like bring it full circle to the original villain. So that's gonna be really interesting. I hope they can like find ways to like maintain that conflict, like make sure it doesn't like get stale or anything. Keep it exciting, keep it interesting. Just very excited. I think they really made a strong case that at the very least this is gonna be Jefferson Pierce's season, which is the best way to go after Fia. For me, in my opinion, because excuse me again, he felt sidelined in the previous season, so to see him get put in back in focus is going to be really exciting. And yeah, that's about it. Kind of similar case to Batwoman. I'm probably gonna review it at like its midpoint and then its finale, unless something like really crazy happens. Like I want to like talk about it, but yeah, check out Black Lightning. It's the first three seasons are on Netflix. They're relatively shorter than other Arrowverse seasons, so be I think it's a quick binge, and then hop on season four. It's looking to be a very interesting time. I'm gonna be, as always, I'm torn up. It's the last season, so here's to here's to the family of Freeland, the Freeland fighters, and yeah, that's here's to the Freeland fighters. That's about it. That'll be my final call. All right. Take care, stay safe, and peace out.